What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of New York State Music in Motion. We got going on today. We have Sawyer Fredericks in the building. What's going on, man?
Oh, not much. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks for coming. Today, we're sponsored by the Help and Friendly Salve, which is a natural hemp seed oil company, good for topicals and treatments. So you can head over to the helpandfriendlysalve.com. Also, shout out to Cat Audio here. I don't know if you can see it, hooking me up for these headphones. They're really great. And you guys can check out nysmusic.com. I'm your host, Frank Palangi we're both from upstate New York. No, you're near like Gloversville, Johnstown, right? That area?
Yeah, I grew up in Fonda, which is right next to Amsterdam, which is quite near Glover's.
Okay.
But now I actually just moved to Troy to live in an apartment with my girlfriend.
Ah,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Nice. Moving up there.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I was you remember the FYE that was in Johnstown?
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I first heard about you. I know he won some voice called the Voice, a show called
Yeah.
The Voice, The Voice, The Voice.
The
So
voice, the voice.
that was where I first, heard from you. But before that, when you just got on the show, Zach told me about. He goes, this kid played FYE before, and he goes, now he's on The Voice. He goes, we got to get him back here. So I thought that was cool. I think I was there the next day to perform or something like that. I think you did like a day before.
Nice.
So I've heard good things. Good. So what have you been up to since the show?
Since the show, I've released 2 independent albums, Hide Your Ghosts, and also 1 album with Republic Records. But the independent albums, Hide Your Ghosts, Flowers for You. Been doing lots of touring, not recently because of the whole COVID thing, but yeah, I've kind of shifted to online stuff, kind of like this.
It's not bad, What do you think of it versus the live stuff?
It's definitely different. I mean, like performing is a little strange for me. Like I don't get the same feeling as I get when I'm performing for a live performance. Like
I know the feeling there.
Yeah.
It's a little lack of whatever you want to call it. It's that feeling that we have. It's hard to explain, folks. There's a feeling. Yeah. So with your band, I noticed you included them in your latest music video.
Yes. So the latest music video that we released was for Lies You Tell, and we actually we recorded that song at Dreamland Recording Studios in Woodstock. And
oh, nice.
The video, we kind of made it into a making of video.
Yeah.
Which we had a bunch of recordings because the Accidentals recorded on it. They're from Michigan, wonderful band, and they did a great string arrangement. But we had a lot of footage of like Gannon and me and the Accidentals in the studio, so we had to like recreate and get more footage of Chris and Jerome. So and it was kind of like, oh, we're playing the song, and
Wow. That's cool though. It's cool. I enjoy music videos. I don't know if you like filming music videos, but to me it's like the most relaxing thing. It's so cool. So you've had the 2 albums. I noticed you had a couple guest singers too. Are those guest singers or just backup singers that or like the female singers?
Oh, for the albums, well, on the Hide Your Ghost album, it was the only, I think, guest singer on that is my girlfriend. She sang on
okay, because I heard a female singer, so I wasn't sure if it was somebody that you knew from, the show or something else. But
no, I think I only did 1 duet, and that was on my album that I released with Republic Records, and that was with Mia Z.
Nice. So that was good. She's involved with it, so that's good. That's what you want. So how do you like Troy, New York versus where you were before?
Troy's cool. It's kind of weird being in a city during, like a pandemic, because kind of the whole point of the city is going out to like, the features and the stores, and all of them were closed for a while. They're starting to open up more, so it's fun again, but
a little more risk too, because there's more people,
For sure. That's the problem. But like, I go back to the farm every week because I just need to get back into nature and also see my animals.
Yeah. Well, that's what I noticed. I mean, you're very Americana, folky, soulful. You got some pop to you too. And I can tell you're connected with that. you
Yeah.
know. I mean, it's in your videos and stuff too, but very I call it earthly, you know. It's kind of an earthly
Down
Americana
to earth,
rock and roll.
that
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
So who do you some of your influences?
Well, growing up, I listened to quite a range of music, but when I first started growing up, like big inspiration for me was Creedence, and that was kind of more on my dad's side, Alan
Yep.
Jackson, a lot of Bob Seger, uh, yeah, just a lot of
60s and 70s and
yeah.
stuff.
And
Yeah.
on my mom's side, I was getting more like influences from like Katie Tunstall, Queen, all these lots of different bands. But like now, like one of my biggest inspirations, probably when I was around like 11 years old, is when I discovered him, was Ray LaMontagne, and he's definitely the person that has impacted my music the most, and how I write and how I just
Where's
create
he
it.
from?
I forget exactly where he's from. I know he lives on a farm though.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of
I
him.
was actually under his management for a while, but
Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
it was cool.
That's always the best if you can get to work with your influences. Then you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, it's cool. That's what I say. You got to strive for it, you know.
For
So
sure.
what made you want to go on the TV show to begin with? Just something you want
Um,
to try, or
well, yeah, basically that, but they actually scouted me. They found YouTube videos of me playing at farmers
oh, really?
markets and open mics, because I used to do that a lot when I was around 12 years old back in
Yep.
upstate New York, and um, yeah, so they scouted me and they invited me out. And at first, we actually were like, what is this? Is this for real?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what is this? And then, I did the audition and got through that. And I was like, all right, we'll try it out. And then we saw a lot of like the legal agreements, and we were like, all right, we
Just
can't
for
do
the
this.
audition, right?
Yeah. So we were just like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
actually said no at first.
yeah.
And one of them, higher ups, I guess, in the show, one of the CEOs, like called us and was like, all right, the legal agreements, we're not actually going to do any of those things. They're just standard, reality TV show stuff. Like,
Mhm.
okay, fine. And it was just kind of like another like genuine connection of like a person that you're meeting. And it's like, all right, they're, making sure we know that it's going to be okay and it's going to be safe. So we kind of just went into it thinking of it as a learning experience. And I mean, it was my first time around like all these like incredible musicians, like,
Yeah, yeah,
so that was my most like favorite part about it.
yeah. I've read one of those contracts. They're nasty. They're nasty. The audition contracts. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
knows out there that there's audition contracts, and it's
Yeah. There's so much stuff. It's like, they take most of like your written music if, they have the option.
if you use it.
Like they
Yeah,
have the option to do all these things, but they might not. It's
yeah.
like,
So it's
that's
like,
really scary. Why is it there?
yeah, it's hard too because I don't think your originals were not released before then. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They
Which,
weren't copyrighted and all that,
yeah.
trademarked and stuff. So
Yeah.
any advice for people out there that thinking about joining one of those new shows?
I
What
mean,
you
I
should
think,
do before, you know?
um, well, you're going to be away from home a lot, so you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And especially if you're young, that's a very difficult thing, being away from your family for that long. Um, there's definitely stuff that you have to be prepared for, with just kind of like things that you have to keep secret.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like also just figuring out social media. There's so many things that you can't just be like speaking your mind on social media, because it's just chaos on there.
Topics, right? Like, I don't like
Yeah.
this and I like that, or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
exactly. And like your words can affect someone so much when you have like this pressure put on you when you're on the show. Um, but what I would suggest, I mean, like, I think it's a great experience for anyone to go through, and it's a great learning experience. Um, and like I said, like meeting all these artists, and I'm still friends with most of the people that I was on The Voice with. Like it's just like kind of one big family.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I've been touring with Gabriel Wolfchild quite a bit after The Voice, and Joshua Davis actually allowed me to meet the Accidentals. So like it's all like connected with the people that you meet there. So it's
Yeah.
a super cool experience.
Yeah. It's weird to describe, you know? A lot of it I noticed too is a lot of the ties, everybody's in Nashville. Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Sorry. phone went on low power mode, but we're good.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's the music ties. It's awesome. You know,
Yeah,
where
for sure.
things lead. You know, one thing leads to another, and you meet another person.
Yeah.
So what do you got in back of you? You got a couple guitars here. What do you like to play?
Yeah, so I just play guitar. I don't play any other instruments, but this
Okay.
is actually was a fan gift from a woman from South Africa named Jackie, and she wanted it to be on like behalf of Team Sawyer. So it's got a thing written in there that's like a
Oh,
gift
it's got
from
your
Team
name in
Sawyer.
there.
Yeah, it's my
Nice.
custom guitar.
Oh,
It's
oh.
it's it's the companies are called Bourgeois, and the person who makes it is Dana Bourgeois. Bourgeois sounds very fancy, but it's just his last name. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but they are super, super nice guitars. It's a small company based out of Maine.
Nice. And you play the other thing in there?
Oh
What's
yeah,
that?
this is just it's also just a guitar. It's a backpacker. It's by Martin.
Oh,
I,
okay. I thought it
I
was
bring
maybe
this
like
on hikes.
okay.
But
I
yeah,
like
it's
it. And
just
then
a
you play
little.
classical guitar too?
Um, I have some classical guitars. I haven't gotten too much into it. I do a lot of kind of classical finger picking, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the style difference between classical and acoustic? I mean, like the strings are different, but to me, I can't play classical. It's too buttery. You know, it's
Hmm.
too slidey. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I kind of just see it as like classical is more for more like somber songs and soft sounding things,
Yeah.
and acoustic I can kind of like bang on more
Got
with,
the rhythm.
especially with my drumming. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I do percussive work on the guitar, and I kind of feel like a lot of classical guitars I don't want to do that on because they're very lightweight.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
but I mean, I enjoy playing both kind of things. Like since I've gotten into a lot of finger picking, it classical guitars really suit me for that.
Yeah. I would say that'd be the best. It sounds good too, recorded, you know,
Yeah, most definitely.
especially on a record.
Yeah.
You so I heard your parents manage you. Or do they still manage you?
Yeah. My mom is my manager.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Was that a decision from like out of the show and to now or?
Well, actually, after the show, I was signed to, well, my management was Mick Management, which was Rail Montaigne's management.
Okay,
And
yep.
we were working with them for a while, and it just wasn't really working out. And I was still having my mom like kind of like handle most of the business and stuff for me because I
Yeah.
was 16 at that time, and all of that stuff was over my head.
Yeah, you don't
So I
know.
still needed
Yeah.
her help anyways. So now she's just my manager, and I'm paying her for what she's doing. So it works out better.
That's cool. Here you go, Ma.
Yeah.
Throw you a sandwich this week. I don't really have the money, but here's a sandwich.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Well, it's changed. I'm sure she makes food and stuff like that still.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your
She's
favorite food? I always like to ask that. What's your favorite food that your mom makes?
that my mom makes.
Yeah.
I would either have to say the meatloaf, or
Meatloaf. Oh,
just
okay.
burgers.
Yeah.
We if you didn't know, I live on a 92-acre farm, and
Okay. I didn't
we
know that.
grow our own grass-fed beef, and so it's just the meat is incredible.
Oh, I might have to steal some from you then. I love
So
that stuff.
I can't like say those aren't my favorite because
Yeah.
it's just
Oh, I
amazing.
know. I got so the lockdown, right? Because you know how we couldn't go out. I wouldn't go out to eat. I just
Yeah.
wouldn't. So I got so mad. I go, you know what? I'm gonna make my own Big Mac, right? And then I made the fish sandwich, and then I made something else, and I looked it up online and stuff. And dude, it was the closest to a Big Mac flavor. But
Yeah.
like you said, it was the great beef and stuff with it because it
Yeah.
was Wagyu meat or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is it. But
That's awesome.
I don't know if you went a little stir crazy, but I mean, I've been out a little bit since then, but I'm still careful in a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
things.
Same. I definitely went stir crazy for a little while. It was kind of like it was nice in the beginning, and like a lot of people were just like, oh my God, we can't be inside. But like I'm a gamer,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Okay.
I enjoy being inside, and
PS4 or Xbox?
Xbox and PC.
Oh,
Mostly
okay.
PC now.
You're one of
But
those.
yeah. Also Magic the Gathering card games. There you go.
Okay. I'm a PS4 guy, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, PS4 is great.
Uh,
I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, Xbox is better. It was
yeah, I don't
just
know.
the platform that my friends played on, so I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's how it works, you know. So,
Yeah.
what are your future plans here? I know Thanksgiving's coming up.
Yeah.
Then we got the winter,
Yeah.
the nice
Well,
winter.
I'm hoping to be releasing some music videos. We're working on some stuff, and yeah, we actually recently did some of the recordings at the farm, but I'm not exactly positive when all that's coming out. But yeah, for Thanksgiving, I'm just hopefully going to be spending time at the farm with my family. That's kind of my ideal Thanksgiving.
Nice, yeah. That's what it should be, you know? You
Yeah.
just kind of kick back and relax. And for me, it's weird. Holidays, I get a lot of stuff done. Like I'll like rearrange my studio or something, or I don't know, go through all my guitar. It's like a time of
Yeah.
my old producer goes, it's my one time each year where I go and rewire all of my gadgets, and I go, oh my gosh, because he had like
Nice.
that. I mean, you know, talk about recording. So the analog boards, remember the old analog boards and stuff? He had one. He'd rewire that every year.
We recorded my last album, Flowers for You, on analog. It's
Okay.
all analog and to
So
tape.
oh, so you went straight to tape and then
Yep.
mastered in digital?
I believe we mastered in digital. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I'm not sure. We gave tape. I'm not exactly positive. I wasn't involved with the mastering process. I was just involved with the mixing and the
Oh,
recording.
okay. Okay.
So I know we had to give the tape to somebody, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure if we mastered it.
I imagine they did like a
Yeah,
transfer
yeah.
because all the
My
songs are
guess.
digital now. So
Yeah, for sure. It had
nice.
to go digital at some point.
Now your style, the analog would definitely fit that better because it does add a warm sonic resonance that's not
For sure.
there in digital.
It just sounds like a live performance, the way the warmth behind it.
It does sound real. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of mic were you using?
I forget exactly the type of what it's called. Um,
Tube? Does it have tubes in it?
um,
Was it new
I
or
got
old?
it was old. It was
Old.
old.
Okay. So probably maybe has some tubes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Yeah, I
know
mean,
what Ariel called it, but it wasn't the name, and it's kind of vulgar, so I don't know if that's okay for this.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, some people are weird. They have nicknames for their boards and their mics and
Yep,
all that. And I'm like,
exactly.
just get out the whatever it's called, you know?
Yeah.
That one right there.
Yep.
That's cool. So studio wise, what do you do to prepare to go to the studio? Like do you do
Um,
I I have certain things. I mean, I do everything here now, but I still
yeah,
like when I remember when I went to a studio, I would practice a lot and I would just rewrite everything a lot. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Because you want to get it so when you're there that you're not worrying about that. You just kind of want to do it. I think
Yeah,
that's my
for
view.
sure. And I think I kind of messed up a little bit with like the Hide Your Ghost album. Like we went in and we're figuring it out.
Oh,
And
okay.
for the Flowers for You album, I felt like I was very on top of things and like we need to figure out all our parts before
Before,
we get into the studio, so we can
yes,
get into the studio and just record it
yeah,
and like work on that while we're there.
yeah.
Like
I
you
think
don't want
some
to
of
be
that
like,
is just experience. You know, it's
yeah,
like you just gotta.
but a lot of the stuff like also like we always like figure out the electric guitar after we've recorded most of the other parts
Yeah,
just because I'm very particular with it and it takes a while for me to figure out what because it's just like another voice in the song, so
yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
it needs a lot of gusto.
Because you got the main drums, you have your acoustic, which is number
Yeah,
one, and you got the
yeah,
bass. So anything else is kind of extra,
yeah,
besides your voice. Where
yeah,
for me, it's like electric guitar is king, and then how can I put
yeah.
vocals to that, and then what can the drums do and the bass do, so rock is I don't know, rock is interesting because there's so many layers. I feel like
Yeah,
the style you do is it's soulful, but it's intimate. It's more intimate. It's less layers. It's more you. Like yeah, you can over mix rock songs like easy. Like you've heard it. I mean, I
yeah,
love bands influences of like Nickelback and 3 Days
yeah,
Grace and stuff. But you listen to that stuff and it's very layered.
yeah.
You don't double your vocals either, I noticed.
On
Maybe
some songs I do.
like
I
chorus or
do.
something.
Yeah, I double on choruses sometimes. I've also been messing around with having like not a double vocal, but a distorted double.
Yeah,
And
that's the
the
best.
second double has like a little bit of distortion on it, so it gets a
Yeah,
little more like growl behind. But it's normally like very quiet.
yeah.
Just makes some little more texture in it.
Do you do your own backups too?
If I have backups, yeah, I do.
Okay.
I most of the time do them. Yeah.
Okay. Normally they're for, choruses, everything, backups and stuff. But
Yeah.
I've been into bridges, like backups with bridges and stuff, like weird
Yeah.
melodies. It's kind of cool. All right. So let's get to the fan questions. You want to ask, so you got some questions you got
Yeah.
gathered up here?
I got some questions. I actually asked some of my Patreons or patrons because I have a Patreon account, and I asked them for some questions, and I'm gonna try to remember exactly
Are
each
these
one of these.
people from all over US or the world?
The world,
World. All
like I
right.
said, to South Africa, and she's a patron.
Nice.
um, so one of them, actually, this kind of touches base on a little bit of the question that you asked me a little while ago, but one of the questions is, are you more comfortable in a live setting or the virtual setting?
Ooh,
And
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so I would say I'm more comfortable in the live setting, but for different reasons. I would say I'm too laid back in this setting,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I'm not feeling the songs as much. When
Okay.
I'm performing live, I feel like I take a lot from the audience, and it kind of fuels more of the emotions that I'm putting out, and I can get more into my song.
Yeah, it's kind of like, there's people there physically, so you have
Yeah.
to do something.
It's
You know
not
what I
like
mean?
also like I'm looking back at myself on my phone. Like that's just kind of like a little weird when you're performing live. It's like,
Yeah, well, we never see ourselves. Like, I think it would
yeah,
be cool to play a concert just to see kind of what we were doing,
yeah,
for a second or something. But for the whole time, it is weird. It's like, because I
yeah,
know when I look, I'm like, am I like moving enough, or am I like, going like this the whole time? I'm not looking at the camera. Now you're
yeah,
focused at looking at the audience, which is
yeah,
this thing.
yeah, yeah. You're like, all right, do I make eye contact with the lens? Is that better? Or
Yeah, like I have a TV here, so I'm like, I always just stare at the TV.
yeah.
So,
I have 4 questions here, but next one is, would I like to write a soundtrack to a movie? Um, for that question was by Heather D. Wolf, and that question I would say I would love to, but the movie would have to be something that I feel I could write a story about and
yeah,
write music to. But I've always thought of like writing like an album that has like an overarching story through the whole thing. So
yeah, that'd
put
be
that to
cool.
a movie, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, or picture like even a movie where there's a singer or something like that going through a journey.
Yeah,
You know, that would be
exactly.
cool.
That's I mean, like a lot of my songs have that kind of like process, like it's storytelling. Like he begins in one place and then ends in another. Like
Yeah,
it's not just
I've heard
yeah,
Bob Dylan from a lot of people. They're like Sawyer Fredericks, Bob Dylan.
yeah. Bob Dylan,
The
yeah, yeah,
songwriting.
yeah, for sure. Well, thank you. Bob Dylan's also like one of my inspirations. See, actually, his first televised performance, which is funny because it's also my first televised performance, was of "Man of Constant Sorrow," which was my blind audition song on The Voice.
Really, that's
Yeah,
cool. I like that. Yeah,
yeah,
you played at it's in Saratoga, the place in
yeah. Cafe
Saratoga.
Lena, which
Yeah,
is
he
he
put
played
some
there.
money. Yeah, but he put some
Yeah.
money in it too in the, I don't know, the 60s or 70s or something.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Cafe Lena is great. I love them. I go there all the time, and
I seen you book
performances
there. That
every
was cool.
year. Yeah.
I played there 10 years ago, and like maybe 8 or 6 years ago, before they went to kind of like there's no rock allowed, even acoustic for some reason.
Huh.
But
I
that
didn't
was
even know
before the
that they were
remodel,
still
because
like.
they remodeled it.
Yeah, I know that they remodeled it. I did open mics there when I was around like 13 years old, and
Yeah.
they actually Sarah Craig, who owns the place, actually got me my first like paid job
Oh,
there. I
nice.
opened up for the Kennedys, And
I remember they collect money at the doors. People come up. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, the Cafe Lena door, the two red doors that open are in the front. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's different there now. It's all remodeled. I remember
Yeah,
what the old one looks
it
like.
looks great. And they also like took all of like the newspaper wall down and put it in like frames and stuff. So
Oh,
like
okay.
you kept all that because like used to be when you entered, you'd see all of like these old newspapers from people who performed there
Yeah, on the
all over the
wall.
wall. It's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
yeah.
What's your
But they
favorite place to play at besides
um
there?
besides Cafe Lena, I would say, I mean, there's a lot of great venues I've played
Let's
at.
say New York State.
New York State. I would say, hmm. Well, I mean, the City Winery that I've played at in New York City was great. They're always wonderful to play that. Also, just because they feed you, which is so nice. But
I always say
I don't want
that.
the
It's a
food
plus.
to sway my decision. So I'm gonna go with the Town Crier.
Okay, I've never heard that place. What kind of place is
It's
that?
it actually, well, it's moved a little bit. I think it used to be in Connecticut and now it's in New York, but it's a family-owned business. It was actually one of the like first places that I did like a little competition with.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah, I was 13 years old, so I've been performing at that place a lot through my whole life,
Okay.
and I still like go back there and perform, and it's just a really really nice venue.
You've opened up for people too, right? Do you have a favorite show for one of those concerts?
Um, I definitely would say the person that I was like most happy to open for was Langhorne Slim. Um, he was just a phenomenal artist, and I got to perform with him and play one of his songs with him. It's just excellent. He's
Oh,
just
that's cool.
also just a performer wise. He's like one of the only people that would like stage dive in a small venue. Like he's crazy. It's
Nice.
awesome.
Dang. Did you do touring after Idol with the management or not? Sorry, the
Yeah,
Voice.
The Voice. Yeah, I did some touring, and we like I didn't have a band together at that time, so we like quickly got some like friends and family members to like play in my band so I could go
Yeah.
on tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a full tour for my A Good Storm album that I released after The Voice.
The second album was on the Billboard charts. I was gonna mention that.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
cool. That's like a staple of like, yeah, man, this is it. This is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, super super fun.
How did that change things? Did it change things for you from being on the charts and kind of taking a
Um,
step?
well, I mean, like, it's always great when you're on the charts, but I mean, I'm not sure how much it changes. I mean, like, you get a lot more like listeners, which is good. But I mean, like, I was all over the charts when I was on like The Voice, and
Yeah.
I was all over on like iTunes charts, and like a lot of like listeners like they only listen to those songs, or as soon as you're off the charts, they're no longer listening.
Ah, okay, okay. So
So
they're
I feel like there's a lot of
singles.
listeners,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
are like, we're only listening to the people on the charts.
Oh, okay.
But
Hmm.
um, I would say it helps so much, and like I'm very grateful to like Billboard for all like stuff that they've done for me. It's wonderful.
It's you get more radio play once you're
Yes,
on there.
yeah, that's something that we're really trying to break more into is getting some radio play. Actually, recently, my song "Born," which is on the newest album, has been getting played on Sirius XM Coffee House, which
Okay.
is awesome because I
Is that one
just
of
love
your?
that station. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is that one of your favorite shows?
It's a radio station, and it's more just like they have a lot of artists like play stripped down versions of their songs. Also,
Oh,
just
okay. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I hear Ray LaMontagne on there all the time, and like I never get to hear Ray LaMontagne on the radio, so I'm like always happy
Yeah.
listening to that because it's just like yay.
Cool. You said you have two more fan questions?
I got two more.
We'll throw those out there and
Yeah. So this is, would I want to do a voiceover on an animated film? It's an interesting
that's
one.
an odd one.
Also from Heather, and I would say, I mean, sure. I don't know how
Maybe.
good. I would
Yeah.
do it if anybody like asked me to. Like I would try to like do the parts, but like I don't know how well I would do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like it would just be a cool experience for me. So
Yeah.
yes.
Why not? Right.
Yeah. We got one more. This one. Oh, do I see myself as a father someday? I know you like family a lot, but I was just wondering if you ever considered yourself as a parent. Um,
Mm.
that question, I would
That's an
say,
in-depth question right there.
yeah.
We need
So,
another hour to dive that in.
no. This it's a simple just yes. I do want to be a father someday, but whether I will adopt or like have children of my own, I haven't completely decided yet.
Yeah.
But I want my own family, and I want to have like a spot in the world and just be there with
Yeah.
them
You got plenty of time yet.
for sure.
Yeah. I'm a very go by the flow guy too. So it's
Yeah.
never force anything out there if you're listening,
Yeah.
Don't want to force it. Tell us where you're located here on the old internet going on.
Well, you can find all my music it's basically on all streaming platforms. It's on Spotify. There's tons of links to like my albums on my social media. Instagram is SawyerFRDRX, and my website is SawyerFredericks.com. Pretty simple. Also, you can check out my Patreon page. We're trying to create more fun things for my supporters.
So those are subscribers that are monthly that get exclusive
Yeah.
content, basically
Yep.
songs, pictures, or
Songs, pictures, behind
video,
the scenes stuff.
everything.
Yep. Lots of things.
Cool. That's cool. So subscribe to that, folks. And YouTube's a big one too. I know you got a lot of YouTube
Oh
followers.
yeah,
Your videos do
yeah,
very
yeah.
well.
I try to do a live every Monday, and I've interchanged whether I do Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. So I have a lot
Oh,
of like
okay.
Q&A song requests on YouTube, and a lot of like, yeah.
Do you ever do like stageit.com where you do the ticket sales, that sort of stuff?
I have done Stage It. I actually did one with the Accidentals. It was kind of like a co-bill type thing,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, but I haven't actually done it too much on my own yet. I've just been kind of like working with other artists with it.
So we got Sawyer Fredericks in the building, upstate New York. Thanks so much for being on New York State Music in Motion. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Everybody out there, thank you for tuning in. We're going to have more artists, and make sure you check it out. Share, like, comment, all that good stuff. And what I say is support your indie artists out there. Really support. Don't just stream, but download. Yes. Before we go, let me ask you one thing. Digital or CD?
Digital or CD? I definitely listen to more on digital, but I've burned all of my CDs onto my computer. And I have
Oh, okay.
so much music from my family members that is now all on my phone that I listen to.
Crazy. I do the same
Yeah.
thing. Do you notice
Yeah.
the fans, they like CDs better or digital?
My fans definitely like CDs better.
Okay.
I think I have an older fan base, and they just like to have something that they can hold.
I think also if it's signed, they like that aspect.
For
You
sure.
know? Nice. Well, all right. Well, you keep rocking out there. Maybe we'll play a show or something someday, or if you need any
Yeah.
guitar or something like that, I'll throw in something. Sounds good. A little rock and roll. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Frank Palangi again. Check out Sawyer, his website. He's got a whole bunch of stuff on there, videos out there, and just keep rocking. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of our pages, NewYorkStateMusic.com. Stream and support.